Remember how amazing high school was? Remember how disastrous it was at the same time? Hi, this is your pal Tom Taylor from the Indiana Jones Minute podcast, and I've written a book that will take you back to those high school days when life was electric with the possibilities of love and sex, and when those same things were pitfalls that threatened to end everything. It's called In Memory of Todd Woods, and it's available now in paperback, ebook, and audiobook from Amazon, iTunes, and Audible. Kirkus Review calls the book a heartfelt yet unsentimental look at the lives and loves of American adolescents. And Writer's Digest says, Taylor has written a novel that is fast-paced and has a story in which readers will be able to see themselves. Also, Pete and Jerry like it. So check out In Memory of Todd Woods on Amazon, iTunes, and Audible, or find out more at IamTomTaylor.com.
Indiana Jones, Indiana Jones, Indiana Jones. It's a podcast about Indiana Jones. Every movie, 1 minute at a time. The Indiana Jones Minute.
You know where we are here, Tommy? We are in the dead of summer.
Is that it? We're in the dead of summer?
Well, summer's bullseye. And, you know, sometimes a bullseye can have, like, there's like it's like a yellow, right?
Is it yellow? Not the bullseye, but like the yellow around the bullseye?
Well, there's a bullseye, and then think of the archery targets that we used to shoot.
Wait, is this going to be as long as the Steve Winwood talk from last time? Where we figure out bullseyes and how they work, and this point system and...
Exactly. So there's like a bullseye, then there's like a bull's iris, and then there's like a bull's eyebrow,
bull's lashes. Yeah.
No, I did have a question because I know you're in Connecticut right now.
Yeah, I'm in my parents' kitchen. I sound weird because I'm in a kitchen.
One of the things that I know is all the supermarkets where you are have different names, and so I said, okay, right now. You've lived about the country, different regions. Right now, name as many supermarket chains as you can, like the big ones, from different areas.
This isn't around here anymore. We had Grand Union growing up. That's what was in the parking lot at Good Wives Center where they filmed Stepford Wives. Here in
now, growing up, that was so. You mean like that's New England?
Yeah, or this part of New England, I guess. I don't know what their reach is exactly, but yeah, okay. Then they were Shaw's, and now everything's being taken over by like regular old Stop and Shops. I don't know what else. Like Palmer's is a local thing, and then over in Illinois we got like Jewel, and what's the oh God, I'm so tired, Jerry. Why do you make me think of things? Why do you make me catalog stuff?
Well, no, I was thinking because it's when you say these things like Jewel, like if I didn't live in Indiana for 5 years, like I would not know what the hell you were talking about. Jewel.
You'd have to use your context clues. Wait, what is he? Oh, he's not talking about like a precious gemstone or anything. He's talking about a place where you buy milk and eggs and.
And then was there like an Osco or something with
Osco is like the drugstore that was found inside most Jewels, basically. So it's like a Jewel Osco a lot of the times.
So we had the Stop and Shop, which was really funny. It was for a while. It was like Fazio's, which I know everybody's looking at me and throwing tomatoes. But there was Stop and Shop, and then there's like Giant Eagle.
I was going to say Giant because we had that in Potomac, Maryland when I was a kid, like in the Star Wars years. And I lived there until like 1979. And if I see like a Giant, symbol or something, that takes me way back. I'm like, oh my gosh, I was a kid at some point.
That you're like, now you have a shopping chain, like a grocery store, and you're going to name it Giant Eagle.
Strike terror in the heart of shoppers everywhere. That's just
really weird. Yeah. Then there's like out here, there's like a Ralph's, but I can't tell if that's only L.A.
Oh, and you have like Vons, is that it?
We have, what's weird? We have Vons, and I swear to God, like Vons got in a fight. Like whatever two owners there was like a Vons, and there's an identical store It's like a facsimile of Vaughn's, and it's called John's. And I think maybe they got into a fight, and there was some sort of mutiny. And like, for every Vaughn's, you'll pass 5 Vaughn's and you'll see 1 John's. But the font
Wow.
is exactly the same, and you go in and it's exactly the same.
That's hysterical.
Then there's like Kroger. But
Oh,
there's
sure,
no
yeah.
but the
Is that
Kroger is
around
like a
you?
kind of, that's in the Midwest. But what's really weird is like if you go and you want to buy canned pumpkin and you go to the Ralph's here, you'll get Kroger brand. And you're like, wait a minute. Why is there a Kroger brand pumpkin in a Ralph's? And you realize it's all part of like, how like there'll be like the Crips, but then underneath the Crips, there'll be like each individual kind of local gang of the
Yeah,
Crips,
each
like
corner.
like the 37th Street Crips, and
Yeah,
they'll go by their own kind of like they'll be like the 37th Street Giant Eagles.
yeah. And if you follow the pumpkins all the way, you finally get to
Yeah,
like the Crip or something.
it's Kroger. I
Like
think
he's
Kroger.
made out of solid gold.
I don't know who it's. Yeah, I don't know who runs the whole thing. I don't know if it's Kroger or Giant Eagle, but there's like some Close Encounter mothership that has to run it all.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm distracted right now because I think I told you I told you this off the air. I found a box in my parents' basement of like a shoe box, a Nike Air shoe box that is filled with letters from like it seems like 93 to 95 or something from a bunch of people. And I just grabbed one from you, and I was just looking at it just now. And it's September 6th, 1995. And I'm going to read the first sentence just for fun. I haven't even looked at this yet.
Oh boy.
This letter is of no real importance. There, that's the first the first sentence of your letter to me on September 6th, 1995. Thank you, Jerry.
That's exactly what you get if you sign up as a Patreon for our postcard.
Exactly.
Our postcard challenge or whatever.
Must be close to the first of the month. Here's a postcard. You know who this is made out? You know who this is addressed to? This is really funny. Grandpa Micah.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that's an in joke. Oh, that's good, clean fun. You know what? We should be scratching our nugs because we're both peatless right now.
No, we're supposed to be. Yeah, well, that we're always doing, but we're scratching our peats.
Oh, you're right.
I think I turned it around. We can't scratch our Pete because he's not here.
Yeah. So we're left scratching our nugs.
Scratching our nugs, which is fine.
That's too bad.
That's what you do in the middle of summer.
Yeah. You drink Kool-Aid and or varieties of Mountain Dew. You go to a friend's house, you jump in the pool, you scratch your nugs. That's all you do.
That's kind of the evolution. It starts with Kool-Aid, and then when you grow up and you go through puberty, you get Mountain Dew. And then when you realize at age 39 that you're pre-diabetic, you have to switch over to kombucha, and that's like the adult
or a summer
Kool-Aid.
shandy.
Right. And then it all ends with liver and onions.
Oh, must be Tuesday. It's liver and onions. Wonderful.
Right after bingo.
This is progress. Marking time. Well, that's depressing. I want to assure everybody that I'm being safe and proper in my travels to other states. Illinois, as you know, has very low infection rates these days, or at least a very low rise in infectious rates. So I'm being careful and safe as I travel to Connecticut. And I'll probably get COVID anyway, but it's not my fault. I'm trying. You want to thank some people?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Let's thank some people, because then Pete will magically appear back on here, and it'll sound like he was here the whole time. We'll talk about Star Wars some more. That'll be nice.
Yeah.
We want to thank all the beautiful patrons who support us on Patreon, patreon.com/Indiana Jones Minute, for those of you who don't know. We want to thank all those beautiful people like Mr. Fred Star Wars, more like Star Won't. Burn. Take that, Star Wars. We want to thank 2-1 Beckett. Thank you, 2-1 Beckett. You're a kind person. I want to thank Andrew with 2 A's and Jalad in isolation at Tanagra. Shaka when the walls fell. We want to thank Airport says MXM North by Northwest finale July 14th. Thanks to all our great hosts. Hey, that includes you, me, and Pete.
Hey,
North
I
by
bet you he has
Northwest is wrapping up.
he has Cary Grant on, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he had reanimated Cary Grant, Eva Marie Saint. Yeah. We also want to thank Black Lives Matter.
Woo!
Thank you. They do. We want to also thank Brady and Brent, who was shorn on the 5th of July. Did you see that? Did you see the pictures of Brent?
I did.
On
He had
Facebook?
his quarantine.
Yeah.
His quarantine. I guess quaff. That was
Yeah.
great.
He went from like Jim Jarmusch to, I don't know, Eddie Haskell or something.
Yeah.
Oh, I look good.
Yeah.
I don't know
No.
what Eddie Haskell. Just a nice, tidy haircut. He looked nice.
Yeah.
I'm trying to compliment the man. He's handsome. All right, you're handsome, Brent. Get over it. We also want to thank Brian and Carson, and Chewy has a barrow in the marketplace. Mala is the singer in a band. And we want to thank Chris. Go Indiana Jones Minute.
Woo!
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah.
And we want to thank Klaus and COVID-19 Center of the Quarantine System. Quarantine isn't a system; it's a fact of life. It's a condition. We also want to thank Cubs fan and Dan. And oh no, Darth Patreonos is going to be really upset that we're doing this a little early. We're recording this a little bit early and without Pete. And so we're stuck with Darth Patreonos giving us last time's same question, which is still a good one that you can think about for a long time and come up with different answers. What is your favorite summer movie or song? I think last time I said something like, I said like Jam On It by Nucleus, didn't I?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
I've been listening, Jerry. You know that I'm a nerd and I'm a bit obsessive, and that every year, every summer, before you and this is, we should also say, by the way, this is like the middle of, not only is it the bullseye of the summer or whatever it is, it's also it's the week of the 4th of July, which means that traditionally for many years, you and I would be at Camp Michigani up in Michigan
right
for a
off
week, and that's the heart of our
Petoskey.
summer.
Yeah, Petoskey, Michigan, there, which is beautiful.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's fantastic.
Especially this time of year, they have the cherry festival.
Yeah.
Right about now.
Yeah. Yeah, but that was all like in the background. That was just like, background noise for like us just getting to camp, just having fun for a week, being weirdos, being, I don't know, flexing our social
and
muscles.
You remember the grocery store chain that was up there?
Oh yeah, of course, Glenn's.
Glenn's. That was the
Cut
local,
it out, Glenn.
that was the local large grocery chain, but I don't think it is anymore.
Dude, wasn't there one year we went up and it was like it was probably like a Kroger. We're like, oh, so much for that. It's a Kroger's.
Yeah. No, it's a Meyer.
Oh, it's in Meyer.
There's Myers everywhere. Yeah.
I almost accept that. That makes a little bit of sense.
Yeah.
That it become a Myers. But just to say, yeah, like, I mean, that's like, I was starting to say, like, thinking of summer songs and summer movies. I would make a tape every single year before I left for camp, and it was called my camp tape for that summer. And so I've been listening to a bunch of those lately over the course of the summer, and I've been struck with a lot of very summer songs, none of which I can think of to name right now. Oh, I think I mentioned Stone in Love. Stone in Love by Journey is a very good summer song. Most songs by Journey are very good summer songs.
Oh, that's
any way you want
true.
it. Yeah.
More Than a Feeling by Boston.
Oh my God, yeah. Holy smokes. You just did a good job right there, Jerry. That was good.
What was it? Three's the Magic Number by De La Soul.
Oh, see? You're good at this. That's fantastic. I'm the one who's been listening to all the tapes, and you're just nailing it.
Gigantic by the Pixies.
Yeah, that was a big one summer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and somebody, who was it? See, I hate it when we do this. Somebody pulled out of their heads that Len song, Steal My Sunshine.
Steal My Sunshine. Yeah, it was great. That was a perfect summer song.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends. There's a lot you could choose for. A lot of different eras, of course.
Yeah. Everybody, like somebody, yeah. This conversation was going for a while on the in the listeners' crusade on Facebook. So keep it going. We're talking about it again. So keep it going.
Total. I credit you with this, Tommy. That like perfect ripoff of Down Boys by Warrant.
How dare you?
And it's the Cars. Is it Bye Bye Love?
Yeah, I mean that whole first record is a summer song.
Yeah, and that song, those two like you listen to Down Boys by Warren, you're like, oh my god, this is the Cars song, like exactly. It's incredible. That's got to be what 1987, maybe 88. Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere
Glamour
in there.
Boys by Living Color.
Oh, sure.
Hey.
Yeah. We're going to be here all night.
There's a lot. You can pile
they really
on.
are.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. They're all good, though. I like summer.
Yeah.
But try this is kind of the bullseye, isn't it? This is like the heart of the summer. And speaking of, many Yes songs are heart of the summer, like Heart of the Sunrise and Starship Troopers. Those are all really good.
And Limelight.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. You won 1987. I got to camp and you were listening to Rush, and you got me all into Rush. That was the year.
That's how it went.
Yeah. How old am I now? 49. All right. Things are good. I'm happy. Anyway, we also want to thank Dave and Death Star attack. We're gonna die right now. And we want to thank Deep Blue Sea, Scene by Scene, coming soon.
Wow.
That'd be cool.
Scene by scene. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've thought about doing that sometimes, but I'll be curious to see if they come across like moments where like, wait, is this the end of this scene and now this is a new scene? I don't know.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. It's not always clear. We want to thank Guy wearing headphones. And we want to thank, do any of you own any Indiana Jones Lego?
That's a great question.
I only have the little minifigure that Timmy Brick sent me, and I think sent you too. You're hoarding stuff from Timmy Brick, you monster. You probably have entire playsets.
No, that's what I got. It's like a keychain almost.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think that's all I have. I don't think I ever got any. Like my son was hardcore Star Wars Lego for years and years and years. So we've got tons and tons of those. So anything with a Han Solo, does that count as an Indiana Jones fever dream set?
Absolutely does. Yeah.
In that case, yes, I got a bunch. But yeah, I do have the first Indiana Jones Lego video game for the Wii, but I haven't played that in a while.
Oh yeah.
But it was fun. Yeah, I gotta get the other ones for other more prominent gaming systems. I also want to thank Doris. Actually, we do. We all want to thank Doris.
Yeah.
And we want to thank Doug. We want to thank Eric and Fables of Phoebus. It's our old pal Pete.
Yep, there it is.
No longer with us.
Yeah, the songs that remind Pete of the summer. Ornette Coleman, The Shape of Jazz to Come. It's like, oh yeah, Out to Lunch by Eric Dolphy. Oh, the good times.
By the way, we were talking last time about the jazz chat that you guys have going with like Neil and Jamie Anderson and everybody. I've noticed the chat, the jazz chat creeping into the three of our chat, and it's I'll not have it.
No, I understand. It's hemorrhaging. No, I know. It's a problem.
Although I think Pete, we deserve that because we kind of pulled up the we were going all Camp Michigani on.
Oh yeah, we did.
Which he has nothing to do with. Yeah. Okay. We're all pals. We also want to thank Father David. Of course we do.
Awesome.
And we want to thank Hillary, and we want to thank, if you could augment your own talents and abilities with those of another person, alive or dead, who would you choose? Last time I said Roger Daltrey. I should have posted that. Roger Daltrey and Tommy just running across the beach doing cartwheels, because I'd love to be able to do a cartwheel just like that. It's hard to think of a specific person because you of course you want to, like somebody like me. Oh, I'd love to play a musical instrument. It'd be nice to be able to play a musical instrument. And maybe I would. Oh, you know what? It's not a specific person. I would like to be able to play a trumpet, let's say, as well as like a guy in Perez Prado's band. I don't know a specific guy, but that would be, hitting those like crazy high notes where you almost, even on like the recorded album, you could hear how they would almost not make it, but they totally did. And you're like, oh my God, this is really fun.
I was
This is
listening to
good.
him today, actually. I woke up
Oh,
listening to Perez Prado. Yeah.
That's one way to do it.
Yeah, what we'll start our own chat. I'd probably, yeah, it'll just be like, salsa music chat. I would do, you know what? The Roadrunner.
Oh
Where he
my
spins
God.
his legs. He spins them like if
Yeah.
you had the ability to like he has two things. Like he can take off like just like 0 to whatever it is 8,000 miles an hour like and he could just go, or he can spin his legs really fast like while he's looking around and kind of
Right.
creating a commotion.
Yeah.
Is kind of like
Yeah.
and then he can take off. I would
Yeah.
like to be able to do that. I mean, either
That'd
you
be
just go
nice.
like I mean, what's interesting is it's always accompanied with a beep beep, and I
Yeah.
wonder if that's actually part of it. Like,
Oh, like is
can
the
he
sound a
not?
byproduct of like the sudden burst of energy or something?
Exactly. Can he just leave, or does it always have to be accompanied by like what if you never hear him go beep?
Yeah,
Like he
right.
just stalls
Or,
and gets
see ya.
eaten by a coyote.
Right. He slams into the wall instead of running through the
Yeah.
painting of the highway.
No, that would be fun. I would like to do that. I would like to be able to do
Okay.
again both of those. You can take off immediately because you see
Mm-hmm.
somebody and they're coming up to you and you're like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I don't want to. You just beep
Oh.
beep and you're gone. Like nobody even knows what happens. You're
Yeah.
just gone.
They recognize you by the cloud of dust you just left.
Yeah. Or by the placard that says bye. You just leave it there. They just have
just spinning.
Yeah, they do. That's what I'd like to do.
Awesome. We also want to thank in Jedi, Leia says it only takes one to sound the alarm.
I don't remember what scene that is.
Is that Oh, is it when they're outside the bunker on Endor?
I'm sure it is.
I don't know, something like that.
I haven't seen that movie in probably 25 years.
I probably haven't either. That's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure I have because I have a kid and stuff, but it's been a while. We also want to thank Indy 5, Indiana Jones, and the Trident of Aquilos.
They said however you want. Pete's not here to correct
Aquilos.
Yeah.
Trident of Aquilos. We also want to thank it's Jonathan.
Woo!
And we want to thank Jasmine and Jeffrey and Jeremy and John. Hey, John Ingle's back. Hey, John. How's it going? John Ingle from Alien Minute and from the upcoming 007 by 7 minute podcast. I think I said that right. Where they're doing the James Bond movies every 7 minutes. And by golly, he's also from ABC. He's from the Jazz Thread, and he's from ABC Devo, and he's from the upcoming ABC DTOS show that I'm on, Star Trek. Anyway, welcome back, John. It's good to have you here.
Yeah.
We also want to thank John and Joshua, Inexorable Tash, and Justin, and Ken, and Kingdom of the Crystal Scroll, and Lori, and Mark, and Matt, and Matthew, and Michael, and Mom to Remy and Drew, and Natalie, and Natsuki Best Doki, which I always like saying, even though I don't know what it means. And Neil asks Sega or Nintendo. We covered this last time. It's a bit of a non-starter with us old folks, but they're all fun.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, for you, you're a Atari guy or a Vectrex guy.
Oh, you were the Vectrex guy.
I was the Vectrex guy.
That was awesome.
The rare Vectrex. Yeah, it's true.
I borrowed that for like a year from you, and it was great.
Yeah, it was very, very interesting.
Yeah.
We had, you know what? Real quick, we had in 1981 Odyssey.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
or maybe it was
that.
Odyssey 2. I can't remember.
Ooh,
it came with
tennis.
We had, or it may have been. There was squash and I think tennis, and then there was like
they dare call them two different things.
Yeah, I know.
Going across the screen.
It was tennis, squash, and there was one other like I don't remember. Handball or something. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah. Wasn't it like a targeting thing with like a gun, like you're like a duck hunt or something sort of thing?
There may have been, from what I
I mean, again, it
recall,
was
it
like
was
a
like
dot, but
it
still.
was like an off-white console, and it had like knobs, like 2 or 3
Hmm.
knobs, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think there was a version at some point that came out with like, guns for target stuff.
yeah.
But all right. We also want to thank Nicholas and none believable. And Orange B. Cooper and Patrick and Pella and Runeborg Techno Union Rep. He no longer has to explain that he was asking about Crystal Beth anymore, so now he's just good old Runebot Techno Union Rep. Oh, Runebot. I said Runeborg, didn't I?
Yeah,
Runebot
you did.
Techno Union Rep. I need to adjust. Sagacious Crumb, we want to thank you. We want to thank Sasha and Scott and our buddy Scott Roseanne and Sean and Steve and Stina and Sully Baseball. Hey, look, it's my wife Jody running through the kitchen. How's she doing?
Woo!
We also want to thank. This is Lando Enchantment with his Star Wars Minute, Indiana Jones Minute question. Which movie franchise ended at the perfect number? I think we've answered that pretty well already. We want to thank
Yeah.
Tears for Veers and the Carlyles and the Wilder Ride and the Sack News and Tierney should be writing Steel and Tim and Timmy Bricks and Tom and Trinko is just so tired of all these Star Wars. Did you find he sent a clip explaining that reference to me and to us, and I feel dumb for not having gotten it. But I feel smart now. And we want to thank Vibrant Visionaries with Heidi Bennett and
Yes.
Wendy. And when y'all nugless, I scratched my Pete. If only we could scratch our Pete right now.
I know.
Hey Jerry, I've got a question for you. A very serious question.
Yes.
Why don't robots have brothers?
Wait.
This is
Is this a Bazooka Joe?
It almost is. I'm going to put this in Bazooka Joe category.
Well, I don't know, Tommy. Why don't they?
Well, simple, Jerry, because they have transistors. Badum. And he actually put in the rim shot. Badum. That was nice. And lastly, we want to thank Zaction. Thank you, Zaction. Thank you, one and all. Thank you, Jerry. I know you didn't feel like stopping what you were doing to thank everybody, even though you want to thank everybody.
I look forward to it. I do.
I know. It's just I only say that because it's a weird time right now, and I'm in a kitchen. My dad's doing the dishes over there. Hi, Dad.
That's great.
Yeah. But thank you, everybody. And now, maybe Pete has something that he wants to say about some question he's got about Star Wars. Let's take a listen.
Well, what about this guy that comes up and he says, Lord Vader, the battle station plans are not aboard the ship and no transmissions were made. And it really bothers me that they've been on board this ship for 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. And everything on board this ship is like a storage locker. And not one of those has been open. And that guy's like, we haven't found, the plans aren't aboard the ship. And I'm wondering, do you think the guy is a spy, like a rebel spy? And he's trying to buy them some time, or is he just inept and he can't find him? Because I mean,
if he was a spy, he wouldn't mention the escape pod if he were a spy. I don't think.
Oh, that's true. Unless he thought
that sends Vader right on this trail.
There were more plans hidden somewhere on the ship.
Well, so are they just going into like? I feel like they go to the space main computer, and they're like, well, type in, go to the search bar and type in hidden plans.
Yeah.
There's nothing here.
Battle station, Death Star.
Keep Googling. I mean, that's what it does make it like. How would he know that they're? The only thing I can think of is that you're right. So it's hidden in Leia's boot, and they're assuming that they're beaming everything. And maybe they I don't know what the word is, but when you use a lower form of technology, i.e. your boot, to actually
Highness,
get
yeah.
something done to fool everybody to think because they know that you're going to beam it, or that no transmissions had been sent, and you're like, so
Right.
they're digging in the wrong place, looking for
Yeah.
transmissions being sent.
But then the second Vader hears about an escape pod, he's like, oh, she must have hidden the plans. in
Right,
the
like a
escape
physical
pod.
thing.
Like
Yeah.
that's immediately back to being physical. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And they are
weird.
physical when she puts them into R2.
They actually are a physical thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a floppy
So
disk
I mean,
or
and
whatever.
Yeah,
Right.
and like literally every single square inch of that ship is a storage locker. Like when you look at the
Yeah.
hallways, it's just locker, locker, locker,
I've
locker.
opened like 5 foot lockers.
I've
Like, really? They're probably not here.
Yeah. You think they have like hidden plan sniffing banthas or whatever?
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
yeah.
Yeah.
So when we get to your line there, Jer, when he says, there'll be no one to stop us this time.
Yeah.
Who stopped him last time?
I'm dying to know. Like,
That's
seriously, was it like Max Rebo?
Yeah.
Or,
Right.
like
Those
Hammerhead?
jazz punks. Yeah.
Who did? It's interesting. Who stopped them last time?
Yeah.
Is our
And
It was
stop
like
them-
political. It was like political interference and stuff. Like, this pesky Senate that they finally decided to get rid of.
But
Like,
when
maybe
he
they were
says
stopping them.
no one can stop us, does he mean no one can stop us from finding the plans that were ours originally? Or does he mean no one can stop us from taking over the universe? Or
I think it's such a comic booky line that it's like, no one will
sounds like
stop
the
us
line.
in our quest for glory and
Yeah.
domination of
Yeah.
the universe. Yeah.
But the way he says it right after the plans, it's like no one will stop us from getting back our property this time. He's just like this. He's like this world weary guy. He's
Yeah.
like, oh, they keep taking my stuff. I gotta go find it.
You do want them just kind of clap and break the huddle. There'll be no one to stop us this time. Go.
Totally. He delivers it with such a it's like it's invigorating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then where do we go? We're back on Tatooine?
Jundland.
Yeah. The
As they
Jundland
call it in the
Wastes.
script. Yeah.
Is that what it is?
It's actually East Jundland, where they have the yogurt shop and the comic book store.
How did the escape pod land? Like it,
Weirdly. Like,
yeah.
Flat on its side.
I kept
Right
thinking it was like did you ever play that game Lunar Lander?
Yeah.
Oh,
When you have
God.
to like hit the thrust button when you're about to land and fire the rockets and run out of fuel right when you hit the ground.
That's maybe one of the hardest games there's ever been.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the only way I can imagine that this would land without it being destroyed.
Yeah, I mean, how's it
There's
supposed
no
to
like landing gear or anything on it, isn't it?
Right.
But like maybe it lands on the rockets and then it falls over so then they can crawl out the hatch.
Oh, maybe.
I like that. But then wouldn't there be like a big burnt rocket thing?
That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
Rocket.
maybe.
What? Maybe it's like I'm assuming that it's made of very durable. It has like a very durable exoskeleton, and what it does is it hits the sand or whatever the topography might be, and it skims. It skims to like a slow stop, and so where we see it is like 80 miles from where it originally touched down. And it's just kind of skipping like a rock over the dunes. Maybe it
Yeah.
probably has a bunch of different types of landing. It's like, oh, this is a soft, sandy planet, so we'll do
Right.
that thing.
I mean, they're pretty lucky that it's sand. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that it's not
Yeah.
concrete or trees or, yeah.
Well, could they get
It seems
back
like a
in
really
it right
impractical.
now? Like, could they start it
Oh,
back
yeah.
up now?
No, it's out of
I don't
gas.
think so. Yeah, it's out of gas and it's broken open, and I don't know. It did
I don't
seem
know.
on the Kenner playset that had like the Jawa backdrop to it and stuff.
Uh-huh.
There was definitely like a dent, like it skidded to a stop or something. Like
You
it
could,
just
there's a
sort of, like,
little
fell out of
dent
the
behind
sky.
it, but I couldn't tell if the
Yeah.
dent was like from the rockets firing. Because it's a very
Right.
small dent, like even in the movie.
You never see the
Yeah.
rockets fire, though.
No,
Like, even when it takes off, even when it's jettisoned.
right?
What's interesting is it's jettisoned, which is not like jettisoned.
Oh,
is
yeah.
that's kind of like pushed out, right?
So then it seems like it would only use the rockets to land, not like the ship kind
Oh,
of
yeah, that's a good
slingshotted
point.
it out, and then they use the rockets to land.
That does make more sense. Like, I don't picture either of them surviving if it just flat out landed in the sand.
No,
Like, just plopped into the sand.
it always bothered me too that
Well,
in
what-
in the play set they're standing like with their feet on the floor where the rockets are, but in the movie they're sitting like on the side of the.
Oh, yeah.
There was a lot of weirdness with the toy stuff.
They were still fun, though.
That's one of
Oh,
my
yeah, I love the toy.
all-time
Yeah.
favorite shots, though. Still, when they're looking, the damage isn't, doesn't look as bad from out here, and you're like, have you ever been in one of those situations where it's like, 4 or 5 minutes or a little bit amount of time after some cataclysm that you were involved
Mhm.
in, or some horrible whatever it was, but you've escaped unscathed,
Yeah.
and it's just like there's this sense of serenity that's just
Yeah.
in that
Yeah.
moment where it's like they're spinning around and it's like they've left that entire world and that entire
Yeah.
life
Yeah.
behind. Whatever
Right.
that
Yeah.
situation is, it's gone. I mean, little do they
Yeah.
know that they're like one laser trigger push away from being destroyed by
Yeah.
the guys watching them. There goes another one. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something. I think this is my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah.
It's
Like I
gorgeous,
said last
too.
time, that just
Quiet.
there's it's like
Yeah.
2 solid minutes of just robots either talking to each other in the desert or one lonely robot
Yeah.
by himself walking around in the
Yeah.
desert.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
And this long shot, like with all the footprints leading away from the escape pod, and I'd never noticed before that the blue of the cover of the escape pod matches R2, and then the sand matches C-3PO, and it's kind of like the color in
Yeah.
this is amazing. Like the use of color and the cinematography is gorgeous.
Yeah, how
You
does
know-
like
you know-
3PO not just blend into the sand? It's like
Yeah.
he's almost the same color, but he's detailed enough, I guess, and shiny.
Yeah,
Looks really nice.
yeah.
Well, like,
And
how would you go ahead?
Well, after R2 and after 3PO starts talking, and he says we seem to be made to suffer, and he says I got to rest before I fall apart. And I was wondering, is this a
Yeah.
real thing? Like, do droids get tired, or is he just complaining? like he's programmed to complain? Like, why would
That's a really good
Yeah,
question.
why would you make a? It's like, oh, my refrigerator's tired, or my coffee
Right.
maker's tired
And like he says, his like joints are frozen, which I take it to mean, like
with sand, or like
so
frozen
sand
up.
is
Yeah.
gumming them up and stuff. But that's like resting is not going to fix that. Like,
yeah, that would make it worse.
He needs repairs. He
I
needs
wondered
attention.
about that. Yeah, he says my joints are almost frozen, and it's like is Tatooine like negative 280 degrees?
Yeah.
No,
Like, is it?
Well, it could be like
freezing
maybe he's on the cold part, the cold half.
Yeah,
maybe.
Who knows how
or
far? Because the Jawas are all wearing like heavy coats.
That's true.
well, what he said. I mean, but back to what you said, Pete. He says like we seem to be made to suffer. It's our lot in life,
Mhm.
which is
That's
really
so horrible.
Really,
We get deactivated
Interesting.
if we do something we're not supposed to. We get
Yeah.
shot out of rockets.
It's
Do you
just
think-
that particular line. I mean,
Yeah.
it's as if C-3PO is Job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's like something written in the Middle Ages, like during the plague,
Right.
and it's like two suffering serfs, and they're talking about, oh, it's our lot in life. Like, but do you think
Yeah.
R2 agrees with what 3PO says? Like, do you think he agrees that's their lot
No.
in life?
No,
And they're made
I
to
don't-
suffer.
R2 never seems to be suffering the way 3PO
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gets in jams. He wishes he was somewhere else, but he's never like, what am I going to do? Oh no, everything sucks.
But do you think that means he doesn't suffer, or do you think he just takes his suffering differently? And
I think he
Tries
just
to
handles
solve
it
it.
differently.
but do you
Yeah.
think he's in pain like 3PO is constantly?
No, because when he gets his his scalp or crown blown off later, he kind of goes,
Yeah.
"Wow!" But he's almost more like
Yeah.
surprised by it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He's not like he's not I think the most emotion you get out of R2
I like
is
your R2 noise.
he gets like scalped by a laser. You know,
Yeah.
it's like I feel like the most you do occasionally get where he gets a little bit sad when C-3PO
Oh, sure.
continues to punish him, and he goes, "Ooh." You know, or
Yeah.
when he's like walking through the canyons and you can tell he's like, I don't know, he's like the the
He's
Jawas.
nervous.
Yeah, he's either
Yeah.
nervous or he's sad or
Yeah.
maybe I made a mistake. But I feel like his personality in general is one of like he's a solutions guy.
Yeah.
He's very, I just need to get from point A to point B, and then once I'm at point B, I'll get to point C. And if I have a problem with point D getting there, I'll just fly.
Right, yeah. I'll just wait a few movies until we get the ability
Exactly.
to fly.
I'll
Oh.
just
Yeah.
if I can't solve
You made
it,
Pete sad.
I'll just write it in and fly.
Well, like when
No.
he yells back to 3PO, like 3PO's finally walking off, he's had it, he kicks him and he walks off, and R2 thinks about it for a minute,
Yeah.
and he's like, and then he's like, meow, 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 meow. And 3PO's like, no more, like, is R2 yelling like, oh, come on, 3PO, you and me, let's stick together? Is he just like, come on, I got this mission to do, let's just stick together? Like, is he going to miss 3PO, or is he just upset that they're being split up because he's on a mission? Or, is he getting emotional right there? Or is he just kind of like, come on, you're with me. Like, we're a unit. I don't, just stick with me. Yes, there's rocks over here. We got to go this way.
Well, see, that's
and you're
what's
being
interesting.
difficult.
What is it? So is R2 able to divine where Ben Kenobi is?
Yeah. I don't know how, but yeah.
Is that why
I
3PO
maybe-
says don't get technical with me? Like, is he like analyzing the
Maybe,
atmospheric flow and
Yeah.
like the winds and
Well,
he's
just
okay, so
follow
over this way.
azimuth 0.78 over this way. Yeah.
Or maybe are the plans part of, maybe it's part of the plans. Like maybe in the floppy disk that Leia put in,
Yeah, I think
it's
that
almost
might
like,
actually be true.
go to this
Mm.
coordinate or whatever. And he doesn't
Yeah.
nail it. That's what's weird. He goes to like maybe he
Yeah.
goes to like that town or that like kind of
Yeah.
the
Right.
environs, which I guess
Well,
is,
makes you
Yeah.
think he can't steer those escape pods at all, because he just lands where he can on the planet,
Yeah.
and then he's got to walk the rest of the way.
Right.
And he's got to find like level, flat ground that aren't, pebbles
well,
and rocks the whole
that's
way
what's
too.
interesting is why is C-3PO, A, does R2 know where he's going? And why does he choose that way? And B, why does C-3PO give him guff for all that?
Yeah, I mean, like R2's not hiding anything from 3PO.
Yeah.
He's like actually telling. He's like, no, I
Yeah.
got secret mission. I'm on a secret
Yeah.
mission. I got plans. And 3PO's like, shut up. What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
No
Secret
more
mission
adventures.
plans.
And so then you're like,
Cut it
okay,
out.
3PO, so what is your plan here then? Where are you going?
Right.
So you got one guy who's got like secret missions, secret plans, and you got another guy who's going no more adventures. So like, is C-3PO just going to Cabo Wabo? Like he's over?
Yeah, I think he's going wherever R2 isn't, because he's
Yeah.
like pissed off and confused and out of his
So,
element.
I mean, if you're C-3PO, what does no more adventures mean?
It means, maybe like stuff on the Tantive V4 was like the first time he's ever been shot at, never been in like serious danger, like physical danger. And he just had it. He's like, I just crashed landed on a planet. My friend who got me into this mess wants to go over where there's nothing but rocks. I can see a slightly easier way over this way. And you know what? I'm just going to go over this way. To heck with
Yeah.
everybody.
But is
I'm
he gonna
done.
is he gonna try to like? I guess he's looking for help. Like, would he?
But what
then
is help?
Join... Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Or would
Like,
he join
exactly.
the new? Like he
Are they
calls
gonna
him
take him back
Master
to the-
Luke. You're like, is he?
Yeah.
Is that what his
Right.
goal is? Is
I think he
he
just wants
try-
to find a human to tell him what to do or something.
That's what I'm wondering. To
Yeah.
unfreeze his, his joints.
Maybe. By the way, we have to say there's nothing funnier than one robot saying to another one, "Don't get technical with me." That's great.
That is a great line.
That
I don't
is
know
a
what it
great
means,
line.
but it's great. Do you think the movie is better if they've just met each other and they've primarily been service droids who are just doing work, instead of two droids that have been together for years and years and had thousands of adventures together with Jedis and evil wizards? And
I never had the sense that they were not already pals. Like they seem close at the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
They seem like they're buddies.
They don't seem that close here, though.
No, it's really weird.
It makes more sense to me here if they are old pals and 3PO's just done. He's like, R2, you're a pain in the ass. You're always getting me into trouble. I'm going this way. Forget it.
Maybe.
But that's
like he's
weird,
he's cutting off his nose to spite his face. He's getting himself into more trouble just because he's so angry at R2.
Yeah.
And he just wants to be done with him.
Yeah,
like
but
if he sincerely thought that he was leaving R2 forever and he was never going to see him again, he wouldn't be doing this.
But I don't know how he would.
Yeah, that's a big planet.
He's not thinking clearly. He's a robot and he's a computer, but he's not thinking very clearly. He's being very human right now, very spiteful and very,
I don't understand
taking his ball and going home.
Yeah. You know what? What if his empathy joint is frozen?
Oh, maybe, yeah. Like on the ship, they were still pals. He's like, "Oh, this thing's safe. Oh, what do you say? That's great."
Yeah.
And then as soon as they got jostled,
got jarred loose.
No, he walks like 80 feet.
I'm starting to hate you.
It is kind of weird, and it always made me really, really sad at that moment that you're like, he's really gonna leave R2 right now.
Yeah,
and he's not just gonna leave R2; he's gonna kick him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And is that a malicious kick, or is that like a playful, like, go on your way, you stupid guy? Like, is it?
No, it seems malicious. It seems spiteful. It seems
he's frustrated.
Like, is he trying to hurt him, or is it just he's frustrating?
I don't think that he thinks that'll hurt him. He's just frustrated.
Yeah.
It's like punching your computer when it's not working right or something.
But he is
except that your computer's your friend.
Yeah,
I feel like he is indulging his spite and his frustration. Like, I don't know.
And by the way, 3PO should not be kicking anybody when he's standing in the sand. Like, if he fell over, that'd be kind of the end of the movie. How's like R2's going to get him back up or something? I don't know.
How is R2
manage that?
Ambulatory.
Yeah,
I don't totally know. Yeah. Like when 3PO's complaining about the rocks, I'm like, I don't know. The rocks sound better than all this sand.
Yeah,
I don't know. But then the rocks are going to be hard.
But
for
I mean,
R2.
does
like,
R2 has
really
wheels?
Yeah,
he does. Yeah. That's why you never like quite see the bottoms of his feet. Like in
do we know if they're wheels or if he's like hovering a little bit or I don't know.
I mean, I guess
it's weird though that 3PO actually commits a violent act. Is this the only time he does this?
No, he hits him on the head later.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And a similar kind of knock it off you numbskull.
Kind of Laurel and Hardy.
Yeah, no, it totally is. Like they love each other, but they hate each other.
Yeah.
He's a lot of like he's a lot of like mode R2's Curly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think R2 ever like lashes out at 3PO. I don't think he ever like shoots him or anything. Or
he doesn't even ever like gets revenge, or he never like.
Yeah. Well, and R2 can mess him up if he wanted to. He's got all sorts of gadgets and things.
It would be, you know what? It would be kind of fun if he pulled out that little electricity thing.
Yeah.
That would have been a fun little thing, actually, to see.
I guess he shocks his foot a little bit in The Empire Strikes Back when he's putting his leg back on, and he kind of shocks 3PO's foot. But that could be an accident, or maybe it's just like a sort of passive aggressive kind of. Oh, I'm terribly sorry.
This is for Tatooine. It's calling me overweight.
Anybody who sees that giant monster skeleton, whatever it is,
it's a legless lizard
to go, that giant legless lizard that's dead in the desert. Anybody who sees that and wants to name it and write a comic book about it and define it in every way they can is completely missing the point of Star Wars. I love just seeing that thing.
Yeah.
And where the hell did that come from? That's just like a little detail in the background.
Yep.
Yeah. And even 3PO doesn't even look at it.
That's weird. He doesn't pay any attention to it. It's really weird.
Right.
Right.
It seems like that would terrify him. Yeah.
He's just trying to walk through the desert and get somewhere, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so I wonder, like, I mean, it's a vertebrate, right?
Mm-hmm.
So was it a fish?
Look, it was like a big. Wait, are snakes not vertebrates?
No.
I don't know.
No,
I don't want to have this conversation. I don't want to think about it too much. I don't want to contradict myself.
That's totally fair. No, they're not.
I
He's
feel
just
like
a
we
big
need
cool weirdo.
a
Yeah.
John Brugan way in here.
Yeah, no, I'm
Oh, yeah?
sure. I'm sure.
I've got a huge question.
Okay.
Is 3PO talking to himself out loud, or is this his internal dialogue?
Captain's log. Stardate, whatever, 1977. I
Because he's
finally kicked
talking the whole
R2 for the
time.
first time.
Yeah, is he
Yeah.
talking out loud, or is this just what he's thinking?
I think he is talking out loud. That's what I would be doing. Stupid R2. Hurt my foot. I gotta walk through the desert, get eaten by a dead dragon.
So someone programmed that. Like someone sat down and said, "Okay, I'm going to program this droid. And he's going to, when he gets upset,
Yeah,
he's going to talk to himself out loud."
right. See, that's the thing. Like, we're having a fun time talking about this stuff. But if any of us like wrote down like, oh, that explains why when 3PO was built at the whatever systems plant, they gave him like a chip that would, make him talk to himself sometimes and stuff. And
No, then it stops being fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't
Like, it's
know
fun to talk
where
about, but I don't
robots
wanna
come from. I don't know
see
where
a movie
droids
about it.
like they
Yeah.
have families. Yeah, these are two characters who happen to be droids,
Right.
and they have they're having 3PO doesn't want it, but they're having an adventure. I want to follow.
It is okay to know where they come from, because that was that droid playset. You remember? It's like the droid workshop.
Yeah,
That was
that's
cool.
I lost my R2D2 action figure, and I made a new one with that. That was my R2D2 for a
Wow.
long, long time.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
By the way,
Yeah.
I just looked it up. Snakes are vertebrates. I was
Oh, okay.
way,
Well, maybe it's
way
just
off.
a big sand snake. Sorry, Jerry. I didn't know. You could be lying right now. I still don't know.
All right, so if you had to describe, like, all right, so this part of the movie, right
Mhm.
up here, would you describe it as playful?
Yeah, maybe a little,
little
bit,
bit.
whimsical. Not whimsical
I'm-
exactly, but just sort of a.
It's
It
also
is.
it's kind of
It
sad.
is. You're like
too,
watching these guys being mad at each other, and it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Like they're both screwed. Like they need to stick together, and they're not going to because they're mad at each other. So it's kind of funny in that way. Yeah.
I watched, I watched this again, the first, 15 minutes again or whatever. And I'm sitting there going, I can't describe that. No movie today would be made like this.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't
Yeah.
really put my finger on why this is so great, and also why I don't see movies like this today, and it couldn't be made today. And
Yeah.
also, as I'm watching it with clunky lines, included, and I guess this playfulness or whimsy or whatever, I'm like, this is incredible.
Yeah. In a movie
Yeah.
made today, they would land and immediately get picked up by Jawas, both of them together.
Yeah. Well,
Like
think
the fact
about
that they get split up has nothing to do with anything, and like in the next scene, they're brought back together.
Yeah.
So really, we're just having like 5 minutes, like after this big, huge, exciting opening, we're having 5 minutes of like this really quiet, stark, just character stuff.
yeah.
Like these two guys mad at each other, and then the one guy goes off and he's all bitter and talking to himself,
And
and that's it. Like that's all that's happening for 5 minutes.
and it's familiar, and yet like very, very different looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's also are C-3PO and R2D2 the heroes of the movie? Like, is this the beginning of their hero's journey? Because they're the only people we've seen so far.
Yeah,
really.
for sure.
Right. Like, are they going to be the ones who go and like save the princess, and like, are they just
Yeah.
on their own? Like, they're actually the heroes of the movie.
Well, and could you
Yeah,
make
maybe.
a point that they are the heroes of the movie?
Yeah, I'd like
they're
to
always
make
sort
a
of
point that they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
That works.
that's interesting. Do any of the other, however many movies are quote Star Wars, do any of the other ones begin for like, go for like 15 minutes or so, without showing the, the hero of the movie, the actual true protagonist?
I don't. I mean, originally they did. We've
What
seen
about,
them
like,
twice by now in the
Empire? I'm
cutscenes
trying
and
to think.
stuff.
Does Empire show that stuff? It begins with like a
Not
prologue.
really. I mean,
No,
Empire,
everyone's
like,
there at the beginning. Kind
starts
of
with Luke and Han and Leia.
Yeah,
It's
it's interesting.
not slowly paced, but it's like it takes its time when it
It's
needs to.
quiet though. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's like you get this really loud, action-packed beginning, and then it's quiet, and you can kind of process, and you have a minute to
Yeah.
breathe, and it's nice. It's very organic.
Like so much of this movie is like you could almost take the story out of it and we're like, let's just watch what's going on in this part of the galaxy.
Oh, I would totally do. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
amazing. It's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's like, there's some turmoil on the spaceship. Oh, a woman got kidnapped by some marauders, and now there's a couple robots lost in the desert. What's going to happen to them? Oh my gosh, the troubles that people have in the galaxy. Oh my goodness.
But I think that that you're describing the Star Wars Holiday Special, by the way. But
Yeah,
which I love.
me
But I
too.
think one of the problems, what was the new movie called? Force Awakens? No,
Rise of
Rise of
my lunch.
Skywalker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rise of My Lunch. Yeah. That had no minutes of quiet. That, like, every single minute of that, like, it
Yeah.
looked like Star Wars, but it didn't feel like this Star Wars. Like, there was no breathing space in that movie. It was just action, 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 action.
Mhm.
Well, even when things are quiet, it's really, really intense.
Yeah.
It's like there's intense
Yeah.
looks or intense music or somebody's grabbing Excalibur or
Yeah.
It's like there's
Yeah.
some sort of intensity that's happening. This isn't any of that stuff.
This is a break. This
Yeah.
is
Yeah. Yeah, which I love.
Yeah.
It's interesting though that it's only 9 minutes into the film.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
that was a rough 8 minutes, guys. Let's take a break.
Well, that's
here.
what I mean. Like so much of it, like you're plopped into a, it sounds hokey, but a whole new world that you don't know anything
Mhm.
about. And so you're kind of just trying to, like, you're exhausted by now because you're like, oh my
Mhm.
God, there's a robot monster man. And there's a bunch of white, I don't know, I guess they're people, maybe they're robots. I don't know. And they're shooting people. And the lady got taken and the robots are talking to,
Mhm.
So yeah, by the time you kind of need a little like, okay, those are the guys I recognize from the ship. Okay, they're mad at each other. I remember them. Okay, good. I can relate to this. We've all
Yeah.
been mad at somebody. We've all been mad at a friend and ditched them.
And it's really like this is the kind of moment like when you're lying there trying to go to sleep at night and you just want to think of something kind of cozy and nice. You're just like, oh, C-3PO walking through the desert. Like it's a really
Yeah.
peaceful, serene.
Definitely.
That's
Or
it.
R2D2, you just hear the gentle of his driving.
Yeah. He's like,
so
well,
nice.
I left 3PO behind. I'll just keep going this way. R2's pretty great.
Yeah.
It's got a good attitude.
Yeah.
And so 3PO sees a blip on the horizon,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess he's going to be saved. I don't know how he knows that that's a transport, but he does.
Yeah, and you know what I wondered is
over here.
Oh
help.
my
What's interesting is so that blip on the horizon, there's like there's like a mirror or something
Yeah.
resplendent. Like are
Yeah,
they
yeah.
is that like a beacon so that they can collect lost droids?
You
Like,
would think that
is like
droids would be attuned to that and be like, oh no, look out. Like they wouldn't want to alert themselves to the droids or something.
well, see
But
that's
is
what
this-
Sneak up on them.
what I'm
Is this a
wondering is
planet that's filled with lost droids? Just wander. There are thousands of lost droids that just wander
Yeah,
around.
what
and
was
they
I
just
was expecting to
drive
find
around
right
and
now.
do they just drive around and steal them from somebody?
see, is that just one of the two suns, like a reflection? Or are they actually did they see C-3PO and they're trying to
Yeah.
communicate with them using like a mirror?
Maybe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they get his attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
I guess any droid that is lost out here would want to be saved, so they would want to alert them.
or
Like,
at
hey,
least
we're over
take
here.
their
We're coming to get you.
chances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which,
Got hot
but it
soup.
made me wonder: can C-3PO starve?
It seems like
I
you can
think
run
he
out
can
of battery.
run down. Yeah,
Does-
yeah.
does he run out of battery?
Yeah, he runs out of juice. His joints freeze up.
But that doesn't seem like it would kill him like starving. It just seems like he would shut down and then he'd have to be started like powered
Right.
back up.
Yeah.
I don't know though. Like is it like an old computer and if it powers down without saving anything, it loses everything.
I wonder if that's just like falling asleep or if it's much more horrible than that. Oh, my mind is growing.
You know what's really weird? Is it in this movie where he asks? I can't remember if it's this one. He's like, "If you won't be needing me, sir, I'll shut down." He's like, "Yeah, go
Yeah, that's
ahead."
this one.
He's like, "Doop."
Yeah.
He just turns
Yeah.
out, you're
Oh my
like,
God, what'd he do?
the hell was that?
How's he going to turn himself back on?
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
back here.
And he does it so
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to be. My family says that I do that. Like when I go to sleep, I just lay down, I close my eyes, and that's it.
Oh,
I'm
I'm so
asleep.
jealous.
Yeah, so are they.
Yeah.
I should say that from now on, right when I go to sleep. Jody, if you'll not be needing me, I'll close down for a while.
I'm
Whatever.
not surprised you don't already.
I know. Let's just say I do. And then I'll keep doing it from now on.